W.A.S.P here, and I'm back with another rapid fire video where I talk about bands with bigger discographies, bigger names, iconic albums, and nostalgic albums. I definitely think W.A.S.P's The Headless Children hits on that nostalgic mark for me because it is easily one of my favorite of theirs. And I also think it's iconic to the degree of that this is where they sort of split off and started evolving a bit. They have a bit of, a couple of songs that sort of resonate and sound similar to the first few albums there in the 80s, but then it starts to evolve in the direction on this album towards like the Crimson Idol and so on. So I really think this album is such a staple of theirs, and it really shows the in-depth growth of Blackie Lawless's writing. The lyrics grew to contain more meaning and resonate with the listeners. The musical growth that opened the door for new and more dynamic atmospheres and emotions from the guitar work, tempos, and the addition of some keyboard made just a massive contribution. And you hear that immediately with the opener, The Heretic, The Lost Child in brackets, which I'll just type out for you guys here so you can see that. The song structure I think allowed the lyrics, story, and the music to grow within the track, and this track has very many varying moods, and I attribute a lot of those moods and that emotional tone to Blackie Lawless's vocals and the guitar melodies as well. But as well as that, the production I felt really added to the atmosphere as well. I really like the production on this album, and that sort of helped this sort of create these almost its own aura. I felt the production gave. I think that sort of mixed with the keyboards though, and it gave this song sort of a nice aura to itself, and that sort of floated throughout this song. So really interesting one right off the bat. I think people, listening to this album that were used to the first three W.A.S.P albums, this first song they would be sort of taken back by it, but I really think it's awesome, and they do a fantastic job of opening up with The Heretic here. And then we jump on to the title track, The Headless Children. To me, one of the best metaphorical lyrical songs ever. This vision comes alive word after word, line after line brilliantly. The song continues to brood with this subtle cry out for the world awakening, like just wake up. It sort of actually resonates with what's going on in the world today. You got these disheveled souls rise in rage, and that rage is produced by wicked drum work from Frankie Banali. I really feel like he broods and brings so much to this song, so much energy, and really helps out each section with what he does. I can't stress enough the contribution that Frankie Banali does. He provided such a flawless tempo for each section, especially the interlude and solo. He just gives this burst of energy, and it really goes hand in hand with what is going on riff-wise, and I'd say a musical message almost in those sections, which, because I felt like they were their own entity, I felt like the drum work really enhanced that musical message and that energy. So Frankie Banali, he may he rest in peace, did a fantastic job, not only on this song but on this album. I think he was really solid, and really sort of had his own style, and an early showcase for a style that people did not use at that time on this album. Then we go into a little bit of a roller coaster of varying song sounds here. And you start off with this hidden swell, this brooding hysteria I thought was unexpected twist in the song Thunderhead. Then all of a sudden you flip to the bio-rhyming gem called Mean Man, which is about Chris Holmes. It describes Chris Holmes flawlessly, and the music goes hand in hand with the lyrics and Chris Holmes' personality perfectly. Very free-spirited, thrashy, abrasive song. Awesome track. I love the energy behind Mean Man, and this Mean Man was one of those songs that I mentioned that is a bit of a throwback to the first three W.A.S.P albums, so I like that touch in there. So you come off of Thunderhead, which is, is sort of a nice flow out of Headless Children, and then you come back with a more abrasive, quick throwback song like Mean Man. So I really like that sort of flow that you got going on the album, and then you move on to a song like Forever Free, which adds another layer to the album. So you got even more depth growing out of this album, with a very poetic tranquility to this, and I really feel an angelic mood swim around here and shine even more with the lyrics. But I really felt like the interlude allows for Forever Free to have this surge of force that complements the album. So it is like a ballad type of song. It's very, like I said, tranquil and poetic, but it does fit because there is a surge of energy and a surge of life force coming from it, and it really complements the sort of energy, you know, that is within this album, or the I don't want to say aggression, because the album is aggressive but not too much, but it does fit and complement the rest of the album, and it does fit in there nicely. So I wouldn't say Forever Free is just, you know, randomly plotted right into the middle of the album or something, and it just, you know, why is this song here? It does have its own entity, but it does also blend in with the rest of the songs, I felt, as well. Then I want to jump towards the end of the album with Man-Eater. This crushes with a stiff riff and sweet lick to open the song, and you got this thundering bass line that rolls right along throughout, creating a pair of thunder and fire throughout, and like steel smashing cement. Just an awesome song is Man-Eater, and it's got that thrashy tone. I would say it's, you know, older Wasp, now the Headless Children version, and that's what you got on Man-Eater. I think that that could be the same. The same could be said about the following masterpiece, Rebel in the FDG. This song plays with your senses with a pairing of opposing rhythms that build a little bit of heat going on, going into the chorus, or going into the verse here as we cruise along to the pulsing chorus, with the vocals and the lyrics that taunt you to come out and play just a little bit. And then you got these two awesome two sets of solos actually that scream for freedom, that just want to be unleashed. I love the intensity. I love the passion behind these solos. I felt like they spoke to me, like a lyric would, and they showcase emotion. They're actually, Rebel in the FDG is, I remember listening to this, and this was, you know, one of the rare times when I was really young, that listening to solos that actually felt, you know, the solo come to life and paint an image for me. That's really what I felt out of Rebel in the FDG. I just love that as a closing track. A lot of aggression and intensity. You know, it's spitting fire, and it fits, you know, the Headless Children. It fits that energy, but it's also a throwback. So you got a nice mix here, and that's what I love about the Headless Children, is that you got this varying, eclectic, you know, swarm of songs here to indulge you with the title track, and Thunderhead, and Mean Man, and Rebel in the FDG, and Forever Free. So you got just this nice mix, but it really flows, and really a lot of it goes hand in hand very, very nicely throughout the album. So I hope you guys check out the Headless Children. If you have any iconic or nostalgic albums you think I should check out, even if it's an old rock albums from like the 60s or 70s, I'd be very intrigued to check out, because I listen to, you know, stuff like Creedence Clearwater Revival, and I appreciate bands like the Animals and the Zombies, and all those, you know, bands from the past. So if you got any of that, feel free to let me know in the comments. As always, all of the songs will be down in the description below for you guys to check out. So until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?